Okay, so I haven't actually done a video in a little bit, and the reason for that is because I've been moving houses. I've finally got my work area set up. I've got the beginnings of my own cyber lab set up, and I'm going to take you on a little tour. This is a little bit of my environment as I do and make my YouTube videos, and when I am required to teach online, and if I'm doing any marking or grading, I'm going to be doing it in my office space over in here. Let's go take a look at some of my environment. Honestly, I think this is going to be the easiest way to show it. So I've got my ring light so that I can add some good lighting when I need it. I've got a basic webcam set up on a wood board, and honestly it works fine. It gets me the angle that I need. I've got my laptop, I've got a monitor, I've got my ergonomic keyboard, I've got my happy light, because sometimes in Canada it stays dark and I need that light. And then on my bookshelf, I have organized it in the ways that I like to have things. I've got things that are important to me. So I've got my central readings. I've got things that are entertaining over here. And then I've got my security books down here of my collection. This one's my favorite. These ones are okay. That one's pretty good too. I got over here that I have some material that I'm working on for studying for certs. Just some random stuff. The robot, I guess. More essential reading for me. And then I'll do a lot of my sitting, drinking my coffee, and studying or writing or preparing for YouTube videos. So I'll be doing it in this zone. I do actually like the LED light quite a bit. I can change it to whatever color I want. So let's do it. Red. Boom. All right, let's keep it there. And then I've kind of always wanted this, and I never had the space to do it. I have my old TV, so for Father's Day I did go out and get a new TV. Oh yeah. But I had my old TV, and it still works. But I can sit in my desk chair and swivel the TV so I can like work, and then turn around and then game. And I've got my 360, Super Nintendo, PS2, the GameCube. I've got an N64 somewhere, haven't unpacked yet. My bookshelf, which additionally has more things that I'm going to want to read or games that I'm going to want to play. Things that I don't want to get rid of, but they just don't need to be out. Some readings that I enjoy. Some of my tech stuff that I'm going to be using right away. Then I've got some 360 games that I really enjoyed, so I like to keep them accessible so I can go up and go, boop, time for some Halo, boom. And then Walking Dead, and then some other random books. The next thing I'd like to show you is my server. Now, hold on, it's not crazy exciting. Oh, that reminds me, I want to show you something. I have some posters here, or like prints, and I think they're really cool looking. Like that. And I want to hang them up in my space here. So I've got a wall there, I've got a wall there, and I don't want them over here. So now, in the comments, post wall 1 or wall 2 where these are going to look nice. Okay? Go ahead and put that in the comments. Thank you, I appreciate it. Now I'm going to show you my server room, okay? And it's just a closet in the basement. But it's not exciting, but this is the space that I have to use. It's nice and cool in the basement, so if the server's running hot, it's going to be fine in this cool basement. And let's go take a look. Wow! Okay. And there it is. And now it doesn't look like much, and you're probably wondering, where's the cover, Andrew? And the answer to that is, I don't know. I inherited this from somebody who's just getting rid of it, and they didn't have the cover. And there you go. We got a desktop, we got a monitor. What I'd like to do now is show you a little bit of my initial setup of the server as I'm trying to envision a cyber environment that can protect the network for my family. All right, let's jump to the computer. Okay, so let's dive right into my initial cybersecurity network that I'm trying to set up. It's only at the very beginning, so this is like, I kind of like to make this like a little bit of a series as I gradually add more and more to this network to protect my family. But I'm going to draw you very quickly what I've got set up. And so I've got a router here, and I've got a computer. I got a couple computers here. Computer. That's why I want that right there. And on this computer, that is the server. So let's bring that over there. Server. Now, my goal for this server is that I'm going to be setting up Suricata, so it's monitoring internal workings, internal traffic, and I'm going to also configure various things for like network health and things like that. As I start dreaming, I'm going to add more to it. That's kind of the fun of using this and sort of working on a cyber environment. I love it. You know what? Let's change the color. We're not doing red stuff anymore. Blue! Boom. So the server is actually using an Ethernet, and it's plugged straight into my primary router. And then I've got my laptop, and I've got various other devices. I'm not going to put those inside of this flowchart here because they're not really important. The ones that are actually important are two other machines. And these guys are going to operate like this. Boom. Very standard. Like this is also, these are supposed to be in the same network. They're all part of the 192.168.1.0/24 network. That's a private network. So many of you have the exact same private network. Over here, I've got a MacBook that was given to me. I inherited it. It had an old operating system. It actually had Windows 8 on it. And I wanted to use the MacBook just because I needed an extra computer. I actually took the OS Xubuntu and I made a flash drive and I popped it in there and took everything out of that machine, and now the MacBook has Xubuntu running on it. Actually, the server has the exact same OS as well. And then I've got a VM, a Kali VM. And now what's important about this, in this particular environment, is that only two machines are able to access that server. So the MacBook is kind of like the family machine. So if I'm going to be upstairs doing whatever, and the kids are watching a movie or something, and I'm like, oh, I'm kind of bored of this movie, I'd like to do something cyber related, I can sit on that computer and access the server via SSH, or I've also set up RDP just because sometimes I've got a few GUI things inside the server that are kind of nice to manipulate just by clicking and dragging. The firewall in this server is actually configured to only allow the IP address of that machine and a Kali machine that's a virtual machine over here. My main laptop where I'm recording all of this jazz and stuff does not have an IP address that can access that server, and that's by design. So I have a hard-coded, I've got my Kali here, and I just punch in the appropriate IP address on that machine, and then if I want to manipulate the server that's over there, I can do it. But I can only do it from two IP addresses. That's important. It just adds a little bit, an extra layer of control inside of this environment. Let's bring up the firewall of the server so I can show you a little bit of the configurations that I've used. Do I need light? Whatever. You know what? Part of this video is going to be a little dark. I don't care. Actually, I do care a little bit. I'm sorry. Unpause this. And let's do a quick connect. You know what? The server's not even turned on. Let's go! Okie dokie, server's turned on. Let's connect with RDP so we can take a look at that firewall. Okay, nice. It's Ubuntu, like I said. I'm a big fan of FirewallD. I'm a big fan of the GUI interface for simple servers. Honestly, it's super fast. I love it. And I want to quickly do a drive-by on some of my settings inside this firewall that allow only for 2 machines to connect to it. And there's other things that I envision to do on this machine, but for beginning part, this is just fine. So I did set up a new zone, I called it RBL, Red Blue Labs, and set it as the default zone. So everything that's coming to this machine is going to be dealt with in all the configurations that are a part of this particular zone. I have set up rich rules. So let's open up one of these. I've got SSH and I've got RDP. Okay, so RDP, remote desktop, SSH, secure shell. Let's open up one of these. They're basically the same. You see I've got 4 here. That's because I've got an RDP rule for the 1.51 machine, and I've got an RDP rule for the 1.50. And then I've got the exact same thing, but just a different service is SSH. So let's open up that one, and then you'll just know that they're operating the same way. IPv4, what is the service that I'm playing with? Specifically SSH. And when traffic comes to this service, what do I want to have happen? I want it to accept that traffic. Now remember that, because that's an important setting, because it merges and it works really well with the different settings. So remember that. Specifically 150, my destination is 219, which is the server. Really, that's it. We just rinse and repeat. We just change the service and the source IP. I want to show you RBL setting as I'm thinking about it. I've set everything to drop. So no matter what comes at this machine, it's going to drop that traffic unless it matches a specific setting in my firewall there. For example, ping my server right now, it's going to deny it, which is what I want it to do. It's just saying dropped. I have these specific control and management type services that are running there. I want them to be only 2 specific machines. So there you go. Honestly, there's not much configured on this server just yet. I have visions of setting up a web server where I can have logs running, and then I want to set up secure connections, HTTPS. I'm playing with the idea of setting up a domain controller there and having people in the home network being able to log in, and then I have a bit more control over the network that way. It's quite fun playing with a network like this. All of you have networks that operate in similar ways. You know, you've got a router, you've got a private network. Throwing on machines that can do some management and some security are great ways to practice your cybersecurity skills. If you're enjoying this video, enjoying this channel, go ahead and please give the video a like. It helps a tremendous amount. And I look forward to some of the new ideas I've got planned for the videos this summer and then coming into the fall. All right, I will talk to you later. Bye.